Welcome to the Tangent Podcast. We're talking, of course, about the retrial of the century. Everyone is talking about the Karen Read case. Now, people are dug in one way or the other, and there's lots of evidence, lots of witnesses, testimony, credibility, etc., to try to figure this case out. What we are going to do today, what we are going to do today, Al, you're having a problem.
I don't know what happened on this.
Next. That's okay.
Don't
let it bother you, folks. Al is attempting to simulcast on his own X. So it may happen. It may not happen. We shall see. But there is certain types of evidence and things that you can look at that are not, you can't question their credibility, right? They don't have a dog in the race. And I'm talking about some of the video evidence in this case, specifically related to the taillight. We're going to walk through it. We're going to zoom in on it. And I'm going to put into context the taillight evidence, why it's important and what it means. And then by the end of this video, after you've seen what we are going to show you, you may come to a conclusion. You may change your mind, dare I say. You may change your mind, or you may get even more dug in based upon what you see and hear in this video right here, right now. I'm Vinnie Politan, lead anchor from Court TV. With me here is Al Wunsch III. He's a liar. I mean a lawyer.
Viva Las Tangenistas.
And the radio legend himself, Jonesy.
How are you?
And this is the Tangent Podcast.
It's Vinnie and the Tangents, True Crime Podcast. Vinnie has the blue eyes, Al cracks the jokes. Jonesy stays behind his shades, entertaining all the folks. It's Vinnie and the Tangents, True Crime Podcast. Load up all your comments, hit those super chats. Let's go smash that like button, so we can all have a blast. Vinnie, Al, and Jonesy on the job. They're the Sugar Hill Gang of true crime. They're telling stories of days gone by. They take crime and turn into a good old time. It's Vinnie and the Tangents.
All right, folks, that is the Friday theme. It's the Tangent Podcast. We were off last week. That was my fault. I could hardly speak. And it was problematic. I debated doing it, but I just wanted to lay down because I had to rest up for the show on Court TV at night, and I couldn't risk not being ready for that. So here we are, and we're in the midst of the retrial of the century. Everyone's locked in and focused. I think that, I don't know if the trial is still happening. I think they're still in court right now as we are doing this live. But we're going to dive into everything because we get so many people watching on the replays anyway. This case is about Karen Read's SUV. Did it strike John O'Keefe, her boyfriend? And is that the cause of his death? And a big issue from the beginning has been her tail light.
Yes.
Her tail light on her Lexus SUV. And the question is, did that tail light shatter when she struck John O'Keefe? Did that taillight slightly break when she backed into John O'Keefe's car in the driveway? And was it the Massachusetts State Police who ended up breaking her taillight and planting the evidence at the scene to frame her? That's really the issue, right?
That seems to be the issue. You know, I mean, there's still still need to explain the broken glass. Okay.
Right.
Because that's another thing that's always kind of troubled me with regards to, you know, that broken glass. He was maybe holding that, and
who did the song "The Sounds of Broken Glass"?
David Bowie.
Was it Bowie?
There's also a song by Nick Lowe. I love the sound of breaking glass.
Yeah,
That's
that's
the
right.
one.
Yeah, Nick Lowe had that song.
Love the sound of breaking glass. Exactly. All right. So I'm going to just start with this premise before we get into the tail light. Okay. Before we get into the tail light, do you believe that someone could get struck with an SUV and shatter a tail light?
Sure.
Yeah,
You do.
I do.
Why not?
I don't know. I feel like,
I mean, maybe you have to hit it at the right angle and all that. Like, but why not? It's possible, sure.
like the level of force, because a body is going to move. Like if you hit a solid object that's not going to move, I could see the tail light cracking easily, right? You back into a wall, into a pole, something like that. But hitting a person who, once they get hit by a 6,000 pound piece of machinery, is going to, is going to bounce off of it. You're not going to. It's not like you're going to stand there and it's going to bounce off of you. You know what I mean?
But you hit a deer, or if you hit a person on a roadway, the car is going to have dents on it, and a dent could cause a break of a glass.
I don't know if there's a dent in the SUV.
Yeah, I don't think. I'm not saying that in this instance. I'm just talking about cars in general. I mean, if you hit a deer, God forbid, or you hit a person, even more, God forbid.
You think you break a tail light hitting a deer going 26 miles an hour?
I don't know. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. So, I mean, if you take a look at the laws of physics,
I don't think it can be argued that you wouldn't, or you can't, because, okay, we're talking about deer. I think it's easier for a deer to do it because one of the legs, one of the hooves, flies in the wrong direction and hits it. Maybe. I mean, I don't think you can argue that it can't happen. Like, I mean, it seems that it's possible.
Well, we need some science here.
Science.
You ready? Are you ready? Are you ready?
Blinded me with science.
We need science. So for science, we need a scientist. And oh wait, I had it and I lost it. Where'd my scientist go? I had a scientist.
I had it and I went with it. It came easy.
Dr. Vinnie Boombots.
The same way.
Exactly. All right, we're going to get into the video in just a second. I just wanted to sort of set up the issue here today. And this is from Marie CG. As a physicist,
ooh, easy for you to say,
with a minor in material engineering, I don't see how the taillight can have those damage by hitting a human at that speed. That's what
I always apply the Pythagorean theorem when I have a situation like that, Vin.
I'd prefer to hear from a major in material engineering.
All right, so let's get into. I put together a little video for you guys. I hope you appreciate it. And I'm calling it the tail of the tail light.
Do we have popcorn? You should have told me.
Now, what I'm going to show you needs a little bit of description and a little bit of setup. So we're going to work through this. Okay, what you're looking at right here. This is the tail light after being reconstructed. Okay, so all the pieces of the tail light that were recovered were then put together.
It looks like something I've seen at the Museum of Modern Art.
Indeed. So what you're looking at right here, ladies and gentlemen, let me see. Maybe I should go like this. Is this better? I don't know if that's better. I think
I like it better the other way.
Yeah, it's better this way. Okay, so this whole piece that we'll call this unit, because it's part of the tail light. It's not the entire tail light. There's other parts to it. This is supposed to be all red. So you'll see in the upper left quadrant here that a piece of this is missing. Okay. Right. So follow along with me. That is significant. So I'm gonna keep rolling the video, and I think we'll get a zoom in on that part. And it's important because remember, in this case, both sides are saying the taillight was cracked. It's to what extent it was cracked. So for Karen Reed, this is the part that they believe is cracked because she backed into John O'Keefe's SUV that morning on her way out of the house after coming home, and she believes, the defense believes, and they've been arguing that that's when the taillight is cracked. In a recording that was played in court, she talks about the morning after she returns from 34 Fairview, and she's with Jen McCabe and Kerry Roberts, the two other women. But before they go and find John O'Keefe, she says she picks out some pieces from the taillight that she had broken, small pieces, and then dropped them in the driveway. Okay? So putting that together with what we see here, I believe Karen Reed would say that piece right there that is missing, that was not recovered. Everything else that is taped together was recovered from the scene at 34 Fairview where John O'Keefe was found. Not every piece was recovered. So the defense would argue, and likely would argue, that it's not all there because Karen Reed, as we heard her tell the reporter, picked some pieces off that had been cracked and dropped them in John O'Keefe's driveway. Are you following me, Al? You look confused.
Yeah, well, I am confused, but I mean, I am following it. But you know, now I'm thinking that if the light had been somehow, you know, cracked before, then that could account for it being, you know, like breaking when it hit O'Keefe.
No. Her cracking is after she leaves 34 Fairview.
Okay, no, I was just
John O'Keefe off at the party.
Okay.
Okay, so now this is the defense story. John O'Keefe gets out, goes into the party. She comes home. John O'Keefe doesn't come home. She then is worried. She's going to see McCabe and Kerry Roberts. She's backing the car out, and as she's backing it out, she smashes the right tail light into John O'Keefe's car, which is parked in the driveway.
Yeah, okay, that's what I was
causing a small crack.
Right. Okay.
When she then goes and meets those two women, all three of them come back to John O'Keefe's house. At that moment, as they're getting ready to go search in just one vehicle and leaving Karen Reed's car there, she says she picks a piece out of the tail light that had been cracked when she backed into John O'Keefe's car and drops it in the driveway.
But that doesn't make any sense.
Well, that's what she said.
I know, but I'm just saying that does not make that's not what somebody does. The first thing you do is that you maybe get a piece of tape and tape on the thing so that you don't lose the pieces. So you still have that red or something along those lines.
But she didn't do that. They're about to leave. She just picked them out and then she dropped them in the driveway and she left.
And that just seems very convenient. And that doesn't seem to make sense to me. That's what I was trying to talk about. That's what I was talking about with regards to that. But so how about this? Okay, so the car's backing up to O'Keefe, right? And he's, you know, that's coming at him. He takes the glass and that he has in his hand and throws it at it so that she stops, and that breaks the glass. That breaks the tail light. Could that have happened?
I guess.
And then she keeps going and hits him anyway. I mean, I'm not saying she did or she didn't. I'm not, but I'm just saying that
you have to look at all the possibilities here. Like
right,
what
possibility?
What are people going to argue?
He's got a glass in his hand. Okay. The car's coming back at him. He's like, you know, what's going on? He's not happy, throws it at the car, hits the tail light, and then she continues and hits him anyway. I'm not saying that's what happened. It's a possibility.
Okay. Now, what you're going to look at here is a graphic reconstruction of the taillight. This is something that was not done by any party in this case. It was done by us.
Vinnie Originality.
No, it was done by Court TV. But first, I want to explain these two pictures, why they're significant from my perspective. On the right, this is the picture from the Sally Port. This is the status of the tail light according to the prosecution. Okay, this is what the tail light looked like after she left 34 Fairview. After they say she struck John O'Keefe, this is what the tail light looked like. Okay, on the left-hand side, this is all the pieces put together, like we said, with one piece missing. So what you're seeing really, from my perspective, are the two versions of what the tail light would have looked like that morning in John O'Keefe's driveway, because I'm going to show you that video in a second. On the left is Karen Reed's version, which is a small piece is missing, a sliver. Let's call it a sliver. On the right side, you have a much larger portion of the taillight missing. And on the part of this, there's just that one little piece of red on the side. Everything else is white. And then directly in the back on the hatch, it is still red. But where the hatch opens, you know, there's another piece of that taillight, and that is all white. And it's all white on the side, except half of the top is still red. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
So the left side is what Karen Reed would say the taillight looked like. The right side is what they would say the taillight looks like. So what did I do here? Just to see if it fit, we take the reconstructed taillight on the left, and we are going to place that onto the vehicle on the right. You ready for this graphic reconstruction?
I am ready, Vinny.
Okay. We might need a drum roll. Al, did you play drums? Wait for it. It's happening. Boom. There it is.
Hey.
All right. So now as you look at this, this is how Karen Reed would describe the tail light after she came back from 34 Fairview, but after she backed into John O'Keefe's vehicle, where you have that sliver. You see the sliver?
Yes.
Right.
So the sliver is the part that's been cracked, and the rest of it would be red. Okay? Does that all make sense to y'all?
Yeah.
So now we know what we're comparing. So now we are going to move forward to the next segment here in the tail of the taillight, which is the very famous ring video of the SUV and the AM. Once again,
yes.
This is after she comes back from 34 Fairview, and she's leaving John O'Keefe's house to go see Jennifer McCabe and Kerry Roberts. Excuse me. I put it in super slow-mo.
No, I thought it was just going very slow.
Because I want to see the tail light.
Oh, I like the snow.
Yeah. It's like everything else in this case. It's not 100% clear.
Very good, Vinny.
Okay. What are you seeing? A sliver or a big piece?
Jonesy?
Oh. I couldn't. May I see it again, please?
One more time. A sliver or a big piece?
I think I see a slither.
A sliver.
A sliver.
Watch at the end. Oh, look at that. Puts the brake lights on.
It looks more than a sliver.
You're saying more than a sliver.
Absolutely.
Okay.
It's distorted. You can tell it's absolutely distorted, which would make it more than a sliver.
So you think it's more than a sliver, which would be consistent with persecutors in this case.
Well, how would that fare with Teensy Weensy and Itty Bitty?
Yeah. Now, let's take a look at the still images of the SUV. So the video we just saw, I made some still images. Does it clarify anything for anyone? Sliver or big piece?
Okay, now it looks like a big piece.
Yeah, I'm going to say that.
Wait. Let's go back to that. Jonesy's seeing a big piece now. You see a big piece there.
I'm seeing a big piece there, but I had already stated that I thought it was a slither.
Yeah,
sliver.
You can change your mind. We're in the jury room right now. We're trying to figure out, is it a sliver? A big piece. What do you see, folks? What do you see there from that angle? That's the side angle.
Sliver me timbers.
We've got more for you.
But wait, there's more.
What do you see there, Jonesy? Sliver or big piece?
There I see big piece.
Big piece.
So I'm useless. I'm back and forth.
No. What do you see here? Sliver or big piece?
Slither. Sliver.
Sliver.
Pronounce the word.
Sliver. The word that might be a new piece of merch. A slither.
Oh, slither.
What do you see there? Big chunk or slither? Sliver. Al.
I still see big chunk.
Chunky, chunky, chunky.
And I see the distortion on it. That really does show that there's a piece. I mean, for looking, keep this in mind. We are how far away? I mean, it's a nice
like an Arnold Horseshack test, isn't it?
Ah, the Horseshack test. Chunky, 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 meaty, meaty, meaty.
It's so. What do you think of this shot right here, Al? Chunky or slither? I'm seeing a lot of red.
I'm seeing a lot of red, but the problem is this: at the distance we are in, it looks like it's at least an inch and a half. I mean, and that's not a sliver.
How about this? This is when the brake lights were illuminated. What do you see, Jonesy? You see a big chunk on, or maybe a slither?
If I compare it to the other side, I'm back to sliver.
I think it's slither.
Yeah, but see, here's the problem. I see more. Like you're going to see white light, correct? If the red's not there, the light bulb is white, or like
right?
that.
So do you see a difference between the left tail light and the right tail light?
I do see that. I do see that there's a difference. I'm going to put on glasses just even. I do see that there is. Well, no, actually, you know what? Now when I look at it this way, you're right. I don't see that.
Wait, you did all your analysis without your glasses?
Yeah, well.
Your Honor! Your Honor!
Wait a minute. Let me get my spectacles. Oh!
This is like a scene out of Perry Mason where the witness has to put their glasses on.
Well, because I'm looking what I see is a white light aspect from that. And it is what is coming up on where I'm saying it's more than a sliver.
Now, I'm confused now. It's a slither, right? TH? It's not sliver.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Jonesy's totally messing me up on that now.
It's a form of a snake.
All right. So what's your overall consensus after seeing everything? Or do you want to see it all one more time?
Yes, let's see it all one more time for those of you scoring at home.
Okay. I'll just let it roll. And you know what I'll do? I'll pop up some of the comments. So let me do this. Let me just scroll, make sure I didn't miss any.
We got a musical interlude to go with it.
All right. Let's listen. Roger Bailey. Thank you, Roger. Guys, it's already known that her SUV and the height of his car means that her taillight would not collide. Her bumper hit the car, not the taillight. So he's saying in the backing up, which we're looking at a little piece of it right now on the screen, it would be impossible for the taillight to be broken on the backup. Thank you, Roger. Roger, look at it. Roger's picture here. Is he the referee or is he one of the boxers? What do we think?
I'm going to go with the referee.
You're going to go with the referee.
He's the referee because he's the center of the focus of the photo.
Gotcha. All right, Roger. Okay, slither. Okay, so Missy Bourne is saying sliver.
Right.
Sliver. Is it a sliver or a slither? I don't even know anymore. You totally messed me up on that so bad that I have no idea.
I had drinks last night. The
Sliver me timbers.
Okay, here we go. Now I'm going to roll the video, and I'll pop up some of your comments, folks, on what you are seeing. Are you seeing a sliver, a slither, or a chunk? The Writers Association of the United States says slither.
Writ writers.
Kathy, wait, where's Kathy? Kathy is a sliver.
Now see, there it looks like a chunk.
All right. Now it looks like a chunk. Slither is what a snake does in the grass. It's a sliver. A sliver. The reflectors are gone, says CLW. Nico, just a crackle portion. Just a portion missing. Just a portion. Sliver. A sliver, says Charlene.
Nice haircut.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, consider I do not care what time of day it is, blizzard or what. I'm going to check on my family and ask if they knew what happened. That's a little thing. Both sides look alike, say Jane, which is good for Karen Reed.
Yeah, that's very good for Karen Reed.
Okay. Doris, thank you. Sliver is a piece of wood in your hand, and a sliver is also a small strip. So we're going with sliver. No more slither.
But it's not made of wood.
So what would you call a small strip club?
Teensy weensy.
Okay. All right. Now, let me get to two more things I got to show you. So now what I'm going to do, and this one doesn't work as well because of the coloring and everything else, but I'm going to take the reconstructed tail light and place it on the back of this vehicle. And you tell me if the vehicle looks different when you do that in terms of it, because if this vehicle is at this moment what the prosecution says, all the red pieces you're seeing on the left-hand side are gone, are not there. So when I put this back on there, it should materially change what it looks like. So if the prosecution is correct. If it looks the same, then Karen Reed's side would win this battle.
May I first ask, everywhere I see a piece of white, is that tape? Is that to imply that that part was cracked?
Oh, yeah, on the left side. Yeah, they taped it back. Well, they marked the pieces.
That's
they marked
a lot.
The pieces. Exactly.
That's a lot. And I certainly don't see that. Like if you dismantled that where the white pieces of tape are, the presumably the tape, I'm not seeing that kind of damage in the back there.
Well, if she
okay, well that's the damage that it was. Everything you see in the red on the left, they are saying is not in the car on the right. All the red on the left is not on the car on the right, according to prosecutors.
Well, yeah, if I dismantle that in my mind where the white is, that's enormous compared to what I'm seeing.
Yeah. Okay.
And the Sally Port
video. All right. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this on the left-hand side and graphically reconstruct it and place it onto the vehicle on the right. When I do this, right?
Yes.
The question is, does it change what you're seeing on the right-hand side? If it changes it, then prosecutors win. If it looks basically the same, Karen Reed wins. We're going to need a drum roll, Al. I told you because of the coloring, it doesn't work as well. But do you think it materially changes things? One more time, I'll do it. It's more difficult to do from this screen.
Very much more difficult to do.
The only change I see really is the change, the difference in color between
right. That's the problem, right?
That's all I see. And if I go by that, then yes, it looks different. But otherwise, I think it looks pretty much the same.
Pretty much the same. Now, but wait, there's more.
Oh, wait.
There was one image that was captured from a dash cam video. I believe it was 8:23 a.m. So this is the following morning. It's daylight. A vehicle, a law enforcement responds or has pulled up behind Karen Reed's car. So from the dash cam, I don't know if it's dash cam or body cam. I can't recall.
Well, the police have both.
Yeah, but I'm not sure if this is a dash cam or if this was a body cam image that we got. But there's one image where you can get a grab from it. And you see the back of the SUV. Remember, the right side is the side that is supposedly damaged. The left side is the side that's not damaged. This is before Trooper Proctor or the Massachusetts State Police have taken the SUV into custody. So let's take a look at this image and tell me what you see or don't see. Do you see a piece, a big piece missing from the right tail light or not?
Inconclusive.
It's kind of hard to tell with the snow, but I would say I don't see anything. There's nothing sticking out to me on that.
Okay, so I am seeing more red. The lights are out. The car's not started, right?
No, the car's turned off. It is daylight. It is
Okay.
8:23 a.m. There is obviously snow on the car. Of course, there's snow on the car because it makes everything less clear, like everything else in this case.
I see a difference in color, and if the lights were on, which they're not, I would say that there's a difference because, like, there's more red on the the driver's side of the vehicle.
Okay,
but that you know.
Are we seeing white tail light or are we seeing white snow covering a red tail light?
Well, based on the other side, I don't think it's snow.
Interesting.
It seems like the snow is forming, in different parts of the vehicle.
Fascinating, right?
Yeah, that's a tough call on that picture.
They're all tough calls. They are all tough calls. This and there are videos that are missing. There are ring videos that are missing that could perhaps help us a lot more with this case, but they're gone. And nothing is clear. There is no clear image, 100% clear image of the SUV.
Yeah, no, I agree.
But this is the evidence. These are the images. Has anything that you've seen here pushed you one way or the other on this?
Not me.
Not.
I mean, I was too wishy-washy in my answer for it to have changed, caused me to form an opinion based on what I'm saying. Like I was saying this, then I was saying that. So how can I trust my own eyes on this one?
Are you going to believe me or your lying eyes?
It's not easy, and that brings us to this case. So, let me put it a different way. Do you believe that the jury could come to a conclusion based upon the video evidence of the taillight? Because I'm having a hard time coming to a conclusion one way or the other.
We're having a hard time agreeing with each other. There's only three of us, so I can imagine that a jury, you're gonna have difference of opinions going on when they look at this sort of stuff.
Yeah, but you know what? A jury previously took a look at this and was a little unsure of where they were going, and we had a mistrial.
Yeah.
So apparently somebody is believing it. And
Deborah got your Eagles reference.
Common sense investigator, CSI. Vin, the light on the right bumper is different color than the one on the left. There is no metadata for this image. It can't be verified that nothing was doctored in this image. Interesting.
Well, that's a horse of a different color.
Ah.
We weren't really considering whether or not it was doctored.
Well, let's not forget that the Sally Port video was inverted and presented to the jury one way until the defense had to correct it on cross-examination. So I think that's another reason people in this particular case are more apt to believe that things could be manipulated. Hey, look who's with us, Paulie Walnuts. Hey, yo, Vinnie P and panel from Martha's Vineyard. Hope you're doing well today.
I love the vineyard.
Paulie from Martha's Vineyard.
We're not a panel.
It's been too long since I've been in the vineyard.
Okay, can Rhonda help us?
Help me, Rhonda.
I would want to see a couple of different angles on this daylight view. Yeah.
Yeah.
Me
From
too.
your lips to God's ears.
To God's ears, to God's ears. So this is the real problem with this case, is that even the video evidence is not 100% clear. The eyewitness testimony is not 100% clear. And I think the lack of clarity always favors who, Jonesy, for 10 points?
Would be the defense.
Of course.
Oh.
Of course.
They get 10 points.
You get 10 points.
Can I trade them in for some Vinnie original material?
Can I just do something completely different for just one moment? I just want to do something completely different. We were covering, and we have covered for years, Lori Daybell. I just wanted to acknowledge the verdict, that she was in fact found guilty. And I wanted to acknowledge it by doing this little rap tune, if you don't mind, if you will indulge me for just a moment.
Please.
Let me tell you about a girl named Lori. It may be bizarre, but it's a true story. Born a Mormon and raised LDS. When she strayed from the church, her life became a mess. She got married young, then got married twice. Then a third time, things seemed alright. She competed for Mrs. Texas, but by 2006, she had 3 exes. She and number 3 just didn't get along. Then her brother Alex tased his grom. Then she married husband number 4, a great good-looking guy who gave her more. So much that she finally stuck around until she met a doomsday clown. Once that happened, things really changed. Lori's mind became deranged. She talked of zombies and Moroni, but Lori became a true prepper phony. She ran away down to Hawaii with a grave digger and a bag of money. Then she got caught and her fun was done, and that's the story of the so-called doomsday cult mom.
That's better than
recap.
Grandma.
What's that?
That's better than rapping grandma.
So Lori Daybell, guilty. Sorry, folks, I just had to do that. All right. What day is today?
Oh, well, in history, it is April 25th.
Civil War to civil rights and all the revolution fights. World War I and World War II. I'll always knows who is who. It's this day in history. This day in history. History. Now let's listen to his story.
All right, Al.
All right,
What's going on this day in history?
First off, birthday wishes to Al Pacino.
Hey.
Al Pacino.
All right, he was born on this day in 1940. 1898, the U.S. declares war on Spain. The Spanish-American War begins. Okay, thanks to that, we take over bases in the Philippines and also take over a little place called Puerto Rico. This is where Teddy Roosevelt and the Rough Riders led their gallant charge off San Juan Hill in Cuba, and then led to him eventually becoming president of the United States. 1915, the Anzac Corps landed at Gallipoli. This is a battle of the Dardanelles campaign in World War I. It was a horrific situation for the Australian and New Zealand forces, who were not properly trained with regards to this. The Turks had set up an incredible defense, over 200,000 casualties and KIAs with regards to this. It was a complete failure. It was attributed to none other than Winston Churchill, who was forced to resign from his place in government as a result of this huge disaster. There's a number of really good movies about the Battle of Gallipoli. I really would suggest you take a look at it. It happened on this day in 1915 that they first landed there. Now, last week we were not on, but last week, April 18th, okay, in 75. Hardly a man is alive to talk about the midnight ride. Oh, what?
Al is 85. No kidding.
85. No kidding. The Paul Revere's ride, okay, was 250 years ago last week through Boston. So I figured we would bring this up there. But what people don't understand is that Paul Revere was not the only rider. Okay, he was one of three. It was him, William Dawes, and another individual by the name of Sam Prescott.
Let me ask you: was Paul Revere Italian? Because isn't he from the North End?
He is from the North End, but he's not Italian.
So on Wednesday, his mother wouldn't go, Paulie, time for your spaghetti.
She used to do that. That's how he got the idea to do the midnight ride. Okay, he was yelling, "The British are coming! The British are coming!" Now, Paul Revere gets captured during his midnight ride. He's interrogated for several hours and then released remarkably. William Dawes, his horse, basically died of exhaustion, and he had to continue on foot. And it was actually Samuel Prescott who was the one who got to the individuals at what would later become the Battle of Lexington and Concord, and let them know that the British were coming. So Prescott and William Dawes are two unsung heroes of the American Revolution. I bring this up because this is the start of the 250th anniversary of the Revolutionary War in our history. And next year will be the 250th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence. So please start taking a look at some of these Revolutionary War things that are going on around. It's very important that
or you could just go to Al's basement.
Or go to my basement, and it'd be more than, or my office. There's a whole bunch of stuff on that. And I'm going to try to incorporate at least one Rev War fact in every history lesson we give from now on. Commemoration.
It's now a history lesson. Take notes, people, because at the end of the quarter, there will be a quiz.
There will be a quiz. Okay, now, in true crime, April 25th, okay, showed a situation in 1989 where James Joseph Richardson was released from prison after spending 21 years on a D pen, for the red rum of his 7 children. He was convicted of poisoning 7 children in 1968. The kids ranged in age from 2 to 8 years of age. The prosecution and the sheriff's department did a real horrendous job on this poor man who was truly not guilty. And eventually a individual by the name of Mark Lane, you may know him, he is a famous lawyer who's been involved in the Kennedy assassination and a number of different things, got involved in the investigation. And it was revealed that the babysitter for these 7 children, okay, had been a convicted red rummer who had poisoned her ex-husband. And it was the same poison that was used on these poor children. And so as a result of that, he was released. This happened back on April 25th in 1989.
Wow. So, and Gringa, thank you for the super sticker. We appreciate it. Thank you, Gringa.
All right.
Yeah, that's interesting. By the way, we are live streaming on my Facebook page, my YouTube channel, my Twitch, and my X. We attempted to live stream on Al's X, but there were technical difficulties right off the top.
Please
and we are also on Court TV's YouTube channel as well. So fantastic. Great day. And Lindsay pointing out you're thinking of Prince Spaghetti Day in the North End. Exactly. Yes, exactly what I'm thinking of.
Paul Revere, just so you understand, Paul Revere was a very well-established businessman who had a silversmith,
sliversmith?
A silversmith manufacturing, and was famous and was exceedingly rich. By doing what he did, he put his entire fortune on the line and his life on the line. And that's what happened with these individuals. And you take a look at, you go see Lexington and Concord, and you go see Breeds Hill, Bunker Hill, and learn about these men that just dropped, and women that just dropped everything to support the freedom that we have now. And it is just humbling and we really need to appreciate it, understand it, learn it, and live it.
Fantastic. Brenda Lee today.
Brenda Lee.
The more I watch this trial, the less I think she's responsible. I don't like her. She repeats herself constantly, but I see nothing shouting she did it. What is their smoking gun? Let's think about it. What is their smoking gun? Is it her alleged admissions? I did it, I did it, I did it, or did I do it? Did I hit him or I hit him? I shot the clerk. You know, what is that the smoking gun? Is that their strongest piece of evidence? Is it the broken tail light?
That is part of it. And you know, also part of it is the foolishness of her getting involved and giving interviews during this entire process.
Oh, well, they're showing a lot of clips.
The whole stuff about her with regards to the drinking and this, that, the other thing, it's certainly not helping her. In fact, it's actually making her sound like, well, I'm not really sure, you know, I mean, it could have made me fuzzy. It could have, so you see her making admissions with regards to her diminished capacity to understand everything that was going on based on alcohol. So it's not, you know, there's not necessarily a smoking gun. Real smoking gun would be a video showing it.
Right. All right, let's take a look at this clip.
I mean, I didn't think I hit him, but could I have clipped him? Could I have tagged him in the knee and incapacitated him? He didn't look mortally wounded as far as I could see, but could I have done something that knocked him out and in drunkenness and in the cold didn't come to again?
And this would have been the moment you dropped him off at the party.
Yeah, would have had to.
What do you think of that, Jonesy? Does that make you change your mind about anything?
Well, yeah, it makes you know, I lean on this side of not guilty, and I look at that, and it's hard for me to argue against her own words.
Interesting.
I mean, she doesn't
now
know.
that was played somewhat out of context, because when she said, he didn't look mortally wounded, she's talking about when she sees him the next day. But the way the clip was played, it made it seem like at the moment that she's driving away, well, maybe I hit him and he didn't look mortally wounded, and then I left, right? Is that the way you took it, Jonesy?
I took it as she wasn't sure. And if she's
when based on that sound bite, because she's just taking little clips, did you feel when she talked about describing him as not looking like he was mortally wounded, did you think that was at the party the night before or the morning after?
I did. I took it out of context from what I saw, and I thought she was saying like she was implying that she may have left him there, you know.
Yeah, you know, so Al, is that dirty pool by prosecutors taking little pieces and not giving the full context?
Well, can't the defense do the rest of it?
That's why you have cross-examination. That's why you have a defense, and they will.
How do you cross-examine a video?
What I'm talking about is that is part of the defense. The defense is to say, listen, that's taken out of context. And that's what I meant by cross-examination, the opportunity to challenge evidence that's being put in. And that evidence can be well challenged and looked at from that standpoint.
Should the defense be able to play the entire interview if they're playing little bits and pieces of these
absolutely
interviews?
But here's the problem. I don't know if I'm the defense that I want the entire video on there.
Yeah.
Because she doesn't come across very well. And this is one of the things that drives me nuts. A lot
of things drive him nuts. First of all, a lot of things drive you nuts. Can we agree to that?
I'll have the car out in 10 minutes. But the defendants that think they can talk their way out of a situation is always a disaster. There's a reason why there's a thing called the Fifth Amendment, and there's a reason why you just do tick-a-lock and throw. Okay, because this is precisely the reason why. These comments are so bad, and even within concept, in context or without context, she's trying to rationalize something that she shouldn't even be talking about. If these interviews are not there, the defense has got a really, really good opportunity of winning this case. It's comments like this, her brashness in thinking that she can talk her way out of this, and going for the publicity, that is a huge problem for the defense.
Gen X agrees with you. The documentaries she's doing aren't helping her. I'd agree. Gen X, of course, part of our amazing second to none mod squad.
Order in the chat. Order in the chat. Don't dare attack. We've got order in this chat. The mod squad is on the job, helping us to keep it clean. The mod squad is on the job, always so nice and never mean.
And a big thank you to Gen X, Frankie Figs, Jennifer Soubey, Ashley Bouchard, our amazing, second to none, best in the business mod squad.
They don't get better. You know what I'm saying?
They don't. Oh, so, there's a little bit of a debate going on in the chat room right now. Which in this case, what I'm seeing though, it seems like people are being a little bit nicer to each other.
Well, that's nice. You know, I mean, a debate is good. Some say I'm a master debater, and I wear that moniker proudly.
We're not making that shirt. We are not.
Well, I guarantee you, we'll get people wanting that shirt, Ben.
So Charlene is saying that it's Charlene again with the amazing haircut. That was just a clip, not the whole interview. And this, Al, I've never seen this before, where a prosecutor is taking little pieces of statements made by the defendant and just running them without context, without a witness, in between witnesses. So someone finishes their testimony, and then the prosecutor's like, "Ladies and gentlemen to the jury, now a word from our sponsor." And they draw the curtains, they dim the lights, and then they play a video clip. They don't say anything about it. They just play it, and then they call the next witness.
Well, they learned that from the district attorneys who have to run for office and take out political ads.
No, they learned this from a guy who is a defense attorney who's now in as a prosecutor. So that's where this is coming from.
But Al, as a defense attorney, why would you, I mean, would you fight that, okay, you want to put the clips in, put the witness up on the stand?
Well, that witness on the stage is her. I mean, how are you going to put...
No, the witness on the stand is going to be the keeper of records.
What, with regards to the video?
Yeah, the producer of the video that can authenticate it or whatever.
I don't think, you know what, I think...
Because if you just give them the opportunity, just put the clips up whenever they want, all of a sudden they are choreographing an incredible story. But you have to be doing it like every other trial I've seen.
But and I agree that the use of clips in this is very interesting, and it's something that I haven't seen either. And that's the judge is allowing it to go, and it has been used, and I think it's being used effectively. But, you know, we're only seeing one part of it now. The defense is going to come up and they're going to take care of it. And they're going to say, listen, let's take a look in the context. And then it's going to make the prosecution look bad if they take these things out of context.
So, I mean, I'm not sure what the ratings were for the rest of the video. But the only way to do the context is to play the rest of the video.
But and that may well be what ends up happening. But to put the producer on and things along those lines, I think that's going to end up boring a jury, and it's going to get them a little PR.
Right. But whose case gets boring? The prosecution's case gets boring.
That's exactly right. And so the prosecution is doing the right thing by trying.
Oh, I know. I just thought the defense would fight to not have it done this way.
Well, they did fight for it. They just aren't winning on those arguments.
Yeah, I guess. Here's another clip, Jones. Can you take a listen?
We'd like to play this first and then call Ms. Roberts.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Or did it come back to you at some point? I mean, how much do you remember?
I remember it, but I questioned do I remember it because it's been relived so much. I mean, when I see the video of me driving from the waterfall, like what I just described, tapping the brakes when I crossed the intersection, Washington over Sherman Street, do I actually remember that I kind of slowly proceeded through that green light? No, I don't actually remember that. But I've seen the video so many times that you then question, did I remember it on my own? Or was my memory jogged? But I also wondered, did I say, could I have hit him? Or was it told to me that I said I hit him? And I knew I never could have said that, so the closest I must have said was, did I hit him? I know I said I hit him, but Did I really say it as many times as law enforcement's claiming I said it?
How about that one?
Thank you. I'd now call Kerry Roberts.
I mean, look, first of all, is that really the appropriate outfit to be wearing as a defendant in a case?
Oh, okay. There you go. You just set off a firestorm.
I'm sorry. It's not
interviewed on television.
It's not an appropriate look to have. I mean, you want to get on there and you want to get jury, you want to get people to be sympathetic to your position. You don't dress like you're going on a runway. Okay. And that situation is very bothersome to, the family of John O'Keefe. Okay. And everyone else that sees that. I find that to be patently offensive, that you would be dressed like that. But the words, she just is, you talk about a word salad. I mean, she's just manipulating it and trying to figure out what sounds the best, and it's making it sound worse. But I don't think you get, I really, as I said before, if I had a situation with regards to a police officer who was probably the most corrupt police officer in the history of New York.
Krumke?
No, that wasn't Officer Krumke. But good guess, though. And he wanted to go on 60 Minutes in the worst way because he thought it would make him seem sympathetic before he was sentenced in the federal case that he had pled guilty to. I told him if he went on 60 Minutes, I would no longer represent him. And he decided to take the shot and went on 60 Minutes. And then the judge used that against him when he sentenced him in the federal court.
Yeah.
Okay. And that was a situation that, just bad choices.
We don't want to discourage people involved in these cases from speaking to the media.
Well, I'm not talking about, the thing is I understand that, but that's why you have lawyers, that the lawyers speak to the media. Okay. Yeah. That's why I'm there for. I'm there to be the interference. I'm the offensive line.
You're the mouthpiece. I got to hire a good mouthpiece.
That's right. That's right. You got to, to protect against the screws. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Tammy Gill says video doesn't lie. Okay. But what is the video telling us? That's the question, right? Okay.
I mean, the video is like this. Is like
Tammy. She says she was drunk. I don't think the video makes her look innocent. Thank you.
It's not. Once again, okay, you're not going to talk yourself out of this. Why? And if you're innocent, that's the most. You need a lawyer the most during those opportunities. You don't want to be giving them fodder that's going to be used against you later on.
To get happy. It's time to get funky. It's time for us to smile. Because here comes Mick Spunky.
And a good afternoon to Mick Spunky, pleading the fifth dimension. I loved the fifth dimension when I was growing up. And you know why?
An unusual group.
Let the sunshine.
But I'm an Aquarius.
Wow.
Oh, the sunshine. Well, I'm singing that song right now.
Yeah, exactly.
They were such an odd group. They dressed like hippies. They were of seemingly of mixed race. They were it was almost like they did show tunes. They were considered a rock and roll band, but it was kind of like show tunes that they were doing there. They were really,
and they also featured Marilyn McCoo and Billy Davis Jr.
Yes.
Well, I know I've seen them in concert. I never saw the Fifth Dimension, but I did see Marilyn McCoo and Billy Davis Jr. in concert. Phenomenal show. Phenomenal.
Big thank you to Emma, the fab true crime addict, for this super. Thank you. Awesome picture. Also,
same thing like and Marilyn McCoo and Billy Davis Jr. kind of reminded me a little of Ashford and Simpson. But the only difference is Ashford and Simpson wrote some of the most incredible songs in the history of music.
Yeah.
You know that the replacement for the lead singer of the Village People, Victor Willis, who had an amazing voice, by the way, the lead singer of the Village People, when he left the band, the replacement was Ray Simpson, which was their brother.
Oh, interesting. But okay. Ashford and Simpson, right? Tag team match against Peaches and Herb. Who wins?
No, they're not even close.
Oh, they would shake their groove thing all over them.
You know, Valley Deep, Mountain High. I mean, that song in and of itself is one of the most incredible songs ever written.
Well, that was Ike and Tina.
But they didn't write. Ashford and Simpson wrote that song.
Wrote it. They were great songwriters.
Wow.
Yeah.
One of the greatest.
That
I don't know about
Pixie Neutron.
One of the greatest productions ever.
Here's from Pixie. Thank you so much, Pixie. Appreciate it. I think it's plausible she accidentally hit him and didn't know. However, how's long to die in the cold and butt dials has me at not guilty. P.S. Vinny is so darn adorable. I love you all, though. Terry. Thank you, Terry.
Oh, I love you too, Terry.
Yeah, we should have a thing like post of the day. I think this would be in the running. If we did post of the day, this would clearly be in the running. Thank you.
Would it, really, that would be in the running? You think?
I would vote for it just to piss Al off.
Let's go back to Ashford and Simpson on this situation.
Did they ever live in Englewood Cliffs?
No, they did not. But I did see them in Atlantic City.
Everybody else did.
Which was a you know, just I'll tell you, I went to the show, didn't expect anything, and it came out to be one of the best concerts I've ever been to.
Aren't those joyous occasions when you go see a performer and you think like, oh, this will be okay, it'd be fun, and then they blow your socks off?
Train.
Yeah, that wouldn't have been that. That wouldn't have been my team.
I never paid attention to Train. I knew some of the songs, but I didn't know that they were Train songs. And then Train came to my little town here in Georgia. I went to go see Train, and I was like, wow, that was really good. Worked the crowd. I mean, the songs were good. Hey, soul sister. The little ukulele. Amazing. Folks, if Train rolls into your town, jump on that train and go see him. And by the way, the warm-up was Yacht Rock Review.
Oh,
boom.
God,
what a night. Oh, what a night. When they did the saxophone for Baker Street. Oh, man, blew the roof off the place.
I like a lot of what they call yacht rock. I despise that they gave it the name Yacht Rock. Did you see
the documentary on it?
No, I did not.
Okay. Once you watch the documentary on how it's got its name, you will no longer dislike it. You will love it. You will love Yacht Rock even more.
That would make Bernie Higgins the ultimate yacht rock. He's the one who did We Had It All, like Bogey and Bacall. And the video, he's wearing like a white suit and he's on like a sailboat, so that's yacht rock.
And all I want to hear is no wind, no wind, no rain, no rain. That's another song by Ashford and Simpson. That was made a big hit by Diana Ross.
Yes.
Okay, Jennifer Lego says Al is the smart and handsome one. Vinny owes Al $100 if he doesn't read this. So I read it. I owe you nothing, Al.
What am I, chopped liver?
Jonesy all of a sudden left out as chopped liver today on the live stream.
Bless you, Jen. Blessing you, Jennifer, and a big kiss.
April Diaz asking, did either Ashford or Simpson die? Do we know?
Yes. Simpson passed away.
Oh.
Thank you, April Diaz. Have a great day today. Thank you, April Diaz. We appreciate everything you say. We all know she's a great fan, and we know the kind words she has. We always love to hear from you. Thank you, April Diaz.
All right. Thank you, April Diaz.
Well, I'm sorry. No, Ashford.
Granny loves you, Jonesy.
Can I just say this? That it was Ashford, Nicholas Ashford, that passed away in 2011, if I'm not mistaken.
Ringo's granny, like as in Ringo Starr?
Must be. Ringo's. Ringo Starr, still amazing. The guy still bounces up and down on stage in his late 80s. He's unreal.
Yeah. Peace and love. Peace and love.
He is unreal.
The oldest Beatle.
Yeah.
The what?
He was the oldest Beatle.
He was the oldest Beatle. Yeah. And he may be
and the
last
youngest
one.
was George Harrison.
Really? That's right. Young Georgie. Yep. All right. We're almost out of time, so I just want to make sure we get through some more of these great comments here. Allie likes the April Diaz song.
Oh.
How about this real quickly? Good point, Nico. Thank you so much, Nico Diaz. There's no motive. Is there motive for conflict with the officer? His shepherd would have attacked the deceased husband. Is there motive for conflict with the officer? So is there motive here for either side?
No, that's one of the problems. I mean, obviously you don't need to prove motive. I mean, that's why they're using the text messages to show that there was trouble in paradise. But they haven't, and the defense has kind of tried to use in the first trial that there was some animus between officers and some jealousy and things along those lines. So I don't think either side's proved anything. I don't think that having things saying that we've had trouble in the past or we're not in a good position of our relationship is enough motivation for somebody to run you over with a vehicle. So I don't know if motive is being.
Yet people do it.
Okay, two things here. Peppermint, does it make sense for Karen Reed to do interviews to gain attention and fundraise? Is it worth it?
No, it doesn't make sense. That's why you have a lawyer.
Okay.
You have a lawyer.
And common sense investigator is telling us that Paul is the youngest.
No, that's absolutely wrong. George Harrison is the youngest.
Oh, we're going to have a trial?
It wouldn't be a trial. I can just tell you to take a look at birth dates.
I believe that George was.
Do you have an authentic copy of his birth certificate, though, Al?
I have a number of things from George Harrison because George Harrison was my favorite Beatle. Also, the only Beatle I did not meet.
The only Beatle I met was the fifth Beatle.
Oh, Pete Best. I met Pete Best also.
Pete Best. I met him at Channel 10.
I had the opportunity. I was at a press conference for Ringo Starr, and it was at Radio City, so it was crowded. And I'm not really a field reporter, but I wanted to ask him a question. And I just couldn't. I didn't have the courage.
Were you like,
and finally, when I did, it was too late. I returned to Court TV, and Helen Lucadis, one of my favorite reporters from there, Helen said a tip is to always be the first. Like, just raise your hand up and say something like immediately. And that would have been my chance to speak to Ringo, even though it wasn't a one-on-one personal. But I regret it. Ringo Starr. Was that his real? That wasn't his real name, was it?
Richard Starkey.
That's right. Which, Ringo Starr is a great name, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
If you're going to come up with a stage name, that's a great stage name.
You got the rings. You got the star.
By the way, I was correct. George Harrison was born in 1943. Paul McCartney was born in 1942. For those of you.
That makes him younger because he's born later.
Okay. Yeah, that's how that works, Vin. For those of you scoring at home, if you're born a year
it's like golf
later,
the lower number is better with golf, right?
It's okay. You have nice eyes. You can get away with that stuff.
But Paul is not the youngest.
I'm joking.
But
thank you again to April Diaz. Wishing everyone a fantastic weekend to all and the adorable guys and amazing chatters.
So George Harrison has like a burglar, or not a burglar, but somebody break into his home. And we saw what happened to John Lennon. So this is not good. And George Harrison is on his knees being attacked by the guy. I believe he had a knife. And he's saying, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare. He's repeating that. That was like where he decided to go, his spirituality. His wife came up behind him and whacked the guy with like a statue or something and saved his life. I always thought that was a great story because, I love the fact that the man was so spiritual. But that's not a time to be Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare.
Well, he distracted him because he knew the wife was coming up behind, maybe.
Maybe. Maybe.
And that wife's a keeper. By the way, Steph Greenwool Witch. Hi, fellas. I'm certain with Daybell, Stephen Stearns, Richard Allen in the Delphi case, which not everyone is, but I cannot decide on Karen Reed. I basically don't believe either side.
Ooh.
So this is the way. If you were a juror and you don't believe either side, you would be compelled to vote
not guilty.
Not guilty. Which is kind of where I landed after that first trial, that their expert was so bad they didn't prove it. They didn't prove it. But I didn't believe, on the other hand, that the defense had proven any sort of a conspiracy either. So, and I think where you are, Greenwell Witch, is where the juror I interviewed was. I said, so what do you think happened? And he said, I don't know what happened. I don't know. 3-month trial, and he didn't know what happened because the burden of proof was not met by the prosecution and the defense theory. And let's be honest, it's difficult for the defense in any case to really prove a third-party culpability because the initial investigation. Like none of the people they're pointing the finger at, none of them were investigated. So everything that could have existed in terms of evidence against the Brian Albert, Brian Higgins, anyone else involved was never gathered because they were never investigated. And it's those first 48 hours of gathering information and evidence that you need to do. And it wasn't done. It wasn't done. There was no investigation, which makes it virtually impossible for the defense to prove their side of the case. What was a little different in the Delphi case is that the third-party culprits they were pointing the finger at, there were, I believe, 3 or so members of the task force who believed those people were responsible and had gathered evidence on them, and that's what the defense wanted to use in the trial. They weren't permitted to, but that was a case where, oh, the defense actually has some good evidence because the people they were looking at were actually investigated by prosecutors, where in this case, none of them were, which creates a huge handicap for the defense.
How many times do you get a hung jury or a mistrial or whatever the case may be before prosecution decides not to do it again?
And you got to go at least 3.
Yeah, that's usually about, I was going to say it's kind of third one's the charm.
Wow.
But I will say this. A lot of times after a mistrial, there's a deal, like a real sweet deal.
Yep. Yeah.
With these people, the prosecution and the defense so dug in, that's never going to happen.
Never going to happen.
Really?
April Diaz loved the purple tie last night. Now, here's why I'm wearing purple ties. The
Easter?
The Karen Reed camp has chosen pink as their official color.
Oh.
If I wear pink ties, people will take screen grabs of that, post it online, and read my mind. The other side has chosen blue.
In honor of Vinny's blue eyes?
Well, now I'm stuck. So people will take screen grabs of me with a blue tie and say, oh, yeah, we know which side Vinny's on. So I wear purple, which is
oh, right.
And I can't wear orange or green because I had a stylist actually evaluate my skin tone as to which colors I can wear on the air. And orange, green, and brown are no-goes for me.
Do you get cucumber facials?
No, I do not, but I do use Aveeno. I use one cream in the morning and a different one at night.
Oh.
Important to moisturize. I have no argument with that.
Exactly. Al is on board with that. But so I am stuck. I can only wear purple, different shades of purple, or black tie.
So Roy G. Biv is not going to be on your show anytime soon.
No, it's not happening. We are quickly running out of time, gentlemen. I just want to make sure we don't miss any super chats. And we have not missed any. Okay. Thank you, everyone, for watching. It's great to have you aboard. We appreciate it. Great job, of course, by the Mod Squad. Al, where can folks find you?
Well, Monday night, I'm on with Vinny 8 to 9 on Closing Arguments, and I will be on this Monday. And then you can get me on X at Legal Weapon 3. And when you write your comments on YouTube, I answer most of them. So
okay, and also, Al, show everybody your sweatshirt.
Hey everybody, I've got something for your body, your body. You can wear it by yourself or with Frankie Valli. It's true crime merch from Vinnie Originale. It's true crime merch. It's true crime merch. It's true crime merch from Vinnie Originale. From Vinnie Originale.
All right.
All right. And I got to tell you, you get noticed when you wear these things. I'm in the supermarket, and people commenting all the time. All the time. And I was wearing, I'll tell this story. I was wearing my allegedly, sweatshirt, and I was going down an aisle, and I decided to go to another aisle. So I stopped to maneuver it, and the woman goes, "You allegedly were going down that aisle, and now you're going down another." And I said, "Yep, that's right. Allegedly."
Where can folks find the radio legend, Jonesy?
Tangimania is running wild. You can find me at glennjones.net, Glenn with one N. It'll tell you all the radio frequencies, airtimes, streams, and so on and so forth.
Fantastic. And you can find me every night, including tonight, 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock, 2 hours of live true crime on Court TV, your front row seat to justice. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Say good night.
Vista, La Tanginistas.
Say good night, Jonesy.
Good night, Jonesy.
Somebody say podcast, podcast. Tangent, tangent. Podcast, podcast. This is the Tangent Podcast. Good night, everyone. Good night. Thank you for all your support. We are the Tangent True Crime Podcast. We'll see all of you in court. Somebody say tangent. Tangent. Somebody say